And then they also released the other song they released, which was perfect timing. They did it on the whole tour, like before they started tour. It was they released the first take, which we reacted to. Wave and I did a reaction to it on the channel. You guys should check that out after the podcast. It was really good. But Ryan mentioned while we were watching it, he's like, I had a completely different reaction.
Ooh, so I've been excited for this.
I want to know what Ryan thinks about it, because we did mention Ryan during the reaction. We're like, Ryan's gonna give this song
We're like, don't tell Ryan that. I can't remember
that there's backing tracks or whatever.
Yeah, we had a conversation about the first take a while ago, and okay, the monochrome one was incredible. Like, I thought it was incredible. It was fantastic. And this one, I watched it, I was like, eh. And then a couple guys on Discord pointed out some things, and I had listened to it on my phone, so I didn't get the whole audio thing of it, but just the performance itself. I was like, well, okay. Then I listened to it, some decent speaker, and I was like, oh yeah, that's very. I don't know whose voice I'm hearing on the chorus, like the backup vocals. Like, the thing with me was you hype up, like you put out that teaser showing 3 members now instead of 2, and then you bury their vocals under like layers of shit that like backing tracks. I didn't like it, man.
I
didn't like it.
I do think they went too far. That was a little bit. It was a bit much. Like with monochrome, you could hear the rawness of the voice much more.
Yeah,
even if there was backing tracks.
So that was all. Like, you're all tearing up, and I'm like, that wasn't me. I didn't get there.
Yeah. Enough. I mean, because even if it is just Sue Metal's backing tracks, it still was amazing. I guess that's what it still like hit me. But I didn't feel like it was a nice raw recording. Like, I saw some fan cam footage of like her singing. I'm like, that's what I wanted for the first take, because you can hear her singing out some of that fan cam footage that I saw for some of the concerts. And I'm like, that's what I wanted on the first take, was that right there, where I heard her raw vocals. I think it was Megasune. I checked a clip out. I was like, that's cool. Like, I wish that was on there.
Sue's vocals didn't bother me much. It was just Moa's and Momoka's vocals were just, you can hear
layered
what they were
with the
doing.
backing track.
It was just buried. But Sue's vocals, it seemed like in monochrome she was just more like into it. I mean, she sang it great, but just more into it on monochrome versus this. So I don't know.
Would you say
as a follow up to monochrome, I didn't understand why they put it out. Honestly,
agreed.
Monochrome was so good.
Yeah,
like, I think to follow that, it should be better.
Agreed.
Just leave it alone.
Agreed. I thought monochrome, you could feel the authentic take of it. There was a lot of authenticity to it that was really resonating, I thought, with monochrome.
It's so weird though, because like, so I haven't seen this, so I can't really comment on the performance itself. But I feel like Baby Metal inherently, like, kind of, when you think about Baby Metal, you think about how great the production is for the band. Also, at least for me, like, it's one of the things that's on the top of my mind. And as much as I would love to hear them like do something completely raw, like in a first take setting or something like that, I don't think I really expected it. Because you just don't really get to hear them without production. So I don't know.
That's the implied point of the goddamn show.
Mm-hmm. I know. We've been over this, Ryan. We've been over this.
Yeah, it does seem like the management. Well, even while we were reacting to it, Alan was like, with Momoko, she's just very. And I said Momoko. I just have a weird accent. Sorry, people. But she's very rigid. In her place. She seemed nervous. And Alan was like, dang, it looks like she's on a tight leash. But I do think like Baby Metal's management is very, very much under control of every, of the perception of the band. And so it's really hard to find that authentic performance that we crave from them, because the management is so particular about what they let out.
Like Scott Miller just said, production is one thing, but they can actually sing. We need to hear more of that, because that's the thing, is that they can sing. So any new fan coming into this, maybe they care, maybe they don't. I guess it depends on the person, right? If you're coming from probably the modern age of music, you don't really care. You know what I mean? Probably not at all. If you're remember like things more authentic and more organic, it might bother you a little bit more. So I think that's I think they're just leaning towards like nobody's gonna really care, as much with that. But
Right.
let's ask everybody else. Like, do you guys care? Like, does it bother you? Let us know in the comment section. If you're listening from Spotify, drop it in the YouTube comment section. Does that bother you that they did the overproduction for First Take? But it does kind of like undermine the point of First Take. I agree with Ryan. It's just like what
subverts the expectations of First Take.
Yeah, new word we learned this morning.
Well,
I learned. I should say.
Okay, so could I talk about why I did like that they put this out?
Okay, go. Yeah.
Because I didn't really think about it much until I was seeing a lot of the feedback from the community who, to like a lot of hardcore Baby Metal fans, it felt like they were kind of recycling content since they had already put this version of the one out in somewhere else. But like I said when we reacted to it, this version gave me a whole new appreciation for the one, because up until now, every time I listened to that song, I was focused 100% on the guitar riff, because it's such an epic guitar riff, had such a cool feel and sound to it, that I wasn't really listening to the actual song, the composition and the vocals and stuff. And I never would have heard this version of the one if they hadn't put it up on the First Take, So I'm really grateful for that. And there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember now. Maybe that was
I'll agree with you on that one, because I do think it's cool just to, I mean, if we can separate the idea of what we expect out of like a show like First Take, or what we expect out of something that might be like a more raw, organic sound, and just focus on the fact that it's a different version of the song that we wouldn't get normally, then I think it's easier to appreciate it in that instance. Though I do agree, I would much prefer I'll always prefer in every situation with every band to hear the most raw, organic version of them that there is. But if it's this or nothing, I'd rather have this. I'd rather have a second version of the song than not have a second version.
Yeah,
very true.
And we know why they did it. It was posted the first day of their tour in Europe. It was promotion, So they're giving people something to get Baby Metal at the front of their minds as the tour starts.
Exactly. It was planned out very well.
If they would they'd release these in reverse, how it would have been if they had done the one first and then followed up with monochrome. It'd been like, wow, that was nice. Then they put monochrome. I'll be like, holy shit.
I think the one might, or like hardcore old Baby Metal fans probably have more of a connection to the one, since monochrome, when they released it, was still such a new song and they hadn't really gotten much feedback on it yet.
That's my view on it too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because what if you got the one first, Ryan, and then you're just like, well, I don't want to check out the second one if that's what this is what I'm going to get. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that shows how much they shouldn't have put that one out.
True. I mean, obviously we're gonna watch it because we want to talk about it, right?
But
for more Gaijin goodies like you just saw, be sure to subscribe to the Gaijin Guys podcast and turn on all notifications to be part of the live stream every Sunday. You can also find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, etc. You can find even more exclusive content and reactions on our Patreon, patreon.com/Gaijin Guys. I'll see you there. Adios.